Hello and welcome. My name's Ace Guillen, and this is Cover Stories. So, we are back again this week with another fantastic panel. And you guys are going to be excited about this week's show because we have some really cool stories. But before we do, let's introduce the guests. He's a chick magnet, but unfortunately, women share the same polarity and repel him. He's the creator and host of a new cooking show featuring stand-up comedians called Something Smells Funny. Comedian and writer Scott Wood.
Hey.
He's the Ayatollah of rock and roller. He's a podcast host, a promoter, and a musician. He is Patrick Maloney.
Hey, everybody.
She's just angry that the day drinking isn't included in the distance learning curriculum. She's my co-host and comedian, Melissa Greenberg.
Yay.
When your red eye turns yellow. One passenger on an overnight flight was literally pissed when she woke up to find a man urinating on her. She immediately screamed, and the man simply shook himself off and walked away. Talk about shakes on a plane, right? It turned out the leaky lurker was a well-known public figure. We have a clip of him right here. So the humiliated woman mentioned here in this next clip you guys are going to take a look at, she explains the entire ordeal.
It started to get warm on this side of me.
In that sleepy haze right at eye level, something unexpected.
I jump up and I seen his private area out, so I screamed and that woke everybody on the plane up. By the time I actually looked at him and I see him shaking himself off, I'm like, this man just peed on me.
Her scream getting the attention of an off-duty officer on board.
In the midst of me doing all that, I looked, it was like a puddle of pee in the seat.
All right, I'm going to go to you first, Scott. When you see something like this, isn't this just another typical day on Southwest Airlines?
It is another typical day, and I guess it's just, and the guy was a pastor from what I understand.
Yeah.
So I think that's just the way some churches baptize. I'm going to be honest with you, because that was the weirdest communion I've ever seen. I'll tell you that right now. It's not his fault as well, Ace. I read the article. They said the pastor was on, they said he was on medication, which I believe the airline actually serves in those little tiny bottles.
Right.
So, but it's not his fault. In his defense, his depends were already full. So what are you going to do? But these are the jokes, folks. Thank God she wasn't snoring with her mouth open.
Well, it's funny. I was thinking about that because people fall asleep and they leave a little note that says, wake me when the snack tray comes by or something. Melissa, I don't think these are the peanuts she was asking for. Am I right? Or
oh man, I have small children, and I'd be more mad that I was woken up. I was just like, and I followed that article. It said he took that sleep aid, and I just thinking, all the side effects on the bottle and on the commercials, peeing on other passengers, I've never seen. So I'm calling BS on that guy. But seriously, who hasn't woken up like that?
Right. Hold on, give me 2 seconds. Hold on a sec.
You want to pee on somebody?
Oh yeah.
Who hasn't peed on a Southwest flight?
About it, like,
sorry. Go ahead. Sorry.
The show is good when the host actually leaves. That's always exciting.
We had a quick maintenance issue. Sorry.
Maintenance issue.
Yeah.
That's what that guy had, right?
It's weird. Today's episode is oddly plagued with stuff. the audio stuff. I was having visual stuff earlier too, but yeah, okay, you get it. We went from number 1 to number 2. It's the Fast and the Swerviest. A Corvette driver thought he would show up a pack of wild Mustangs, but it turned out they reared him. The Corvette driver was actually being literal when he said, "I can go circles around these guys." Let's take a look at the clip. Yeah, that's just awesome. You know, it's funny, Melissa, didn't you used to race your Prius like for pinks, if I'm not mistaken?
Right?
Yeah.
Right? And I can drive a straight line. You know, the problem here is positive traction. Right? Because anybody that's ever driven 40 miles an hour against a Mustang on the freeway, one tire spins, the other tire does nothing. No.
I got it.
Thank you.
Crazy. That was crazy. That was actually my dad driving. I don't know if you know that or not.
Was it?
That was my dad. That was my dad behind it. He's 96. He's got a bifocal windshield.
Well, you know what's funny is I actually have a clip of your dad driving. There's another clip of him because apparently he's kind of a jerk behind the wheel when it comes to driving his Vette.
Yes.
Frankenstein scores! Frankenstein scores at last! But what kind of a score, boys and girls?
You know, hey, Scott, it's funny. I'm looking at that though, and I'm thinking to myself, you know what's funny about watching these clips of like guys like that? It's always Corvette drivers, but I was gonna say you always assume it's a guy. You never see a girl do this. Like you never see a chick do this.
No.
Because we know he can't drive.
Yeah.
We have nothing to prove.
But you know, that clip tells it all. When Domino's says 30 minutes or less, they mean it.
Yeah.
I'm just glad to see Magnum PI back on the road again. That's exciting. Go Tom Selleck.
You know, it's funny, Patrick, you and I both live in the same vicinity. We're both in Riverside.
Oh, yeah.
I get people now. I drive a Honda Civic, but the last car I had was a Nissan Versa, and I get dudes all the time coming up to me in like a Mustang or a Charger, and they're always trying to challenge me. And I'm like thinking to myself, like, I'm in a Versa. Like, who are you racing?
They're just totally out of their minds because, yeah, in Riverside, you'll get guys come up. I have like a family Dodge van now, and they still want to race. It's like, come on, this thing goes like 40. It's not going to race at any time. This is the weirdest thing was I used to drive my dad. He built a 427 Cobra kit car. Mm-hmm. And when I drive that, nobody wanted to race me. Nobody ever came up and went, vroom, 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 ever.
Why would they? Yeah.
I watched that video, and the first memory I popped in was the first time I took that thing for a drive. I didn't know how to drive one. Yeah, I put the gas on a little too much, fishtailed it. I'm like, oh, wow, this car has like power. And yeah, I learned my lesson right there. Like, don't mess up your dad's car and don't put it too far on the gas. Like, I just look at that video too. I wish I could waste, 120 grand on my car just trying to race somebody. Like, it's just beyond me. And, it's 120 grand versus 40 grand. Like, whoa, come on now. And yes, you're right. Corvette drivers just seem a little more douchey than, the other drivers. But that's because they also paid, 3 times as much for their car.
It's the Corvette drivers that are usually douchey. But you know who else is the douchiest driver on the road that I found? Prius drivers. Prius drivers. Prius. Of all cars. Like they own the road or something. I don't know what it is with them.
It's like a South Park episode. They're smelling their own farts.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Okay, we're moving on
with your plug-in cars. Last week I witnessed a Mustang. A Mustang actually hit a T-Bird, and there was manure and feathers everywhere. So it was nuts, bro.
I was thinking
My dad was behind the wheel again on that. My dad hit some mailboxes driving. I said, "Where's the car?" He said, "Inside the post office." Not good.
Oh, that is the wrong scene. This is what I want to show you. So yeah, Domo Arigato Giant Roboto. After 6 years of construction, a Japanese company began testing a giant robot. And the soon-to-be attraction was built to interact with tourists. But as you saw in the last clip, it didn't work out too well. This thing stands over 60 feet tall. This electric can opener, striking poses, and even taking a knee. So, Melissa, I'm going to go to you first on this one. Why are the Japanese always prepping for Godzilla?
I was wondering that. This is really stupid. Like, what? I mean, like, how big is it? 60 feet?
60 feet.
Like,
yeah.
What? They couldn't make it bigger? Like, what? It's going to interact with tourists? How? Crushing them? It's just,
yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, they learned nothing from Godzilla. Make things smaller.
Well, we're looking at the clip again, and it reminds me of my show. It's like, why are you putting this much effort into something that no one gives a shit about?
Brutal. It's brutal.
Right? I can make fun of myself. That's okay.
Not wrong, though. So.
Yeah. Like I mentioned, Scott, it was taking a knee, which I thought, like, wow, this thing was only like born yesterday and it's already political. I think they said soon after it was seen looting a Radio Shack. So I don't know. Yeah.
The very last Radio Shack in the world, they got off made off of the CB radios and some double D batteries.
Right.
But I love that clip. It looked like a bad trailer for Pacific Rim 3 is what it looked like. I'll be honest with you. Now we need 5 Power Rangers to get inside and man it.
Oh my God. I forgot they took 5 of those people.
Go Power Rangers. Yeah. Giant robot to the rescue.
There you go. So what about you, Patrick? Aren't you worried about, like, if we keep building things like this, they're just going to turn on us? Like, for example, my little robot vacuum has been chasing me around the house whenever it comes on, and it kind of scares the hell out of me because I know it's looking for me.
Well, I accidentally stepped on mine, so it's been dead for quite some time. I just, oops, one night, there it went.
Did you really?
To be honest, the first thing I ever thought of when I saw that video was, and you'll know what this is, Buckethead. Buckethead needs to make an album called Giant Robot. Oh, he already did. I think this thing was made like years ago. He knew this thing was coming. There's a guy who writes music about giant robots in Japan taking over Japan. He's been talking about playing music for 25 years. It's like now it's coming true. It's like that Idiocracy movie. Everything's real now. It just takes like 15, 20 years, and now we're here. And another thing too is, like, can you make it do suggestive poses? Can you do naughty things with it? Can you make it do something funny, or does it just move in slow mo like the old Ultraman video game?
It's funny. It's like when for example, comedy is all about timing, and the weird thing is, if it tried to do the robot thinking it was being funny, no one would get it because it's an actual robot. You know, it's like, it's weird though, because we look at these things. Let me say it again. When we look at these things, you know how, like, we see, like, animals do something that a human would do, like, oh, there's a dog in a little suit walking on its hind legs, and we think it's adorable. But yet, if it's a machine that does stuff that humans do, it's always terrifying. You notice that?
Oh yeah.
It just looks like it's gonna knock over a building. Like, how is this gonna interact with tourists? Take selfies with them?
Maybe it's just another big vacuum. Like the one you have, Ace.
There it is.
It's just another giant. You know, our dog is actually afraid of the vacuum, like most dogs. Our dog is afraid of the vacuum. Yeah, he'll do the dishes in dust, but he will not vacuum. He will not. Donald Trump. Tremendous. I love the giant robot. Terrific.
Oh my God.
Tremendous.
It's a bigly robot.
It's huge. Absolutely huge.
That'd be awesome if Trump saw a video. He's like, "Oh no, now we have to build giant robots
Exactly.
to fight the Japanese robots because obviously World War II. You know,
Space Force. I have Space Force. Tremendous.
Space
What
Force,
would he?
I forgot about.
What would he call his
I thought that
robot?
was
What would he call his robot branch, though? That's what I want to know.
Oh my God.
Nose. Big
Yeah.
Tin. Rin
Mega
Tin.
Trump.
Rintin. All right, moving on to number 4. Despite all my rage, I'm still just a rat in a drain. In Mexico, a cleaning crew was down in the sewers when they stumbled across a giant rat. It's another giant thing. The rat turned out to be a Halloween prop that was thought to be lost after being washed away during a storm. And we have a clip of that rat.
An image that has gone viral as crews were cleaning 22 tons of trash from Mexico City's drainage system. Take a look. Ew, they came across what is being described as a giant rat, which turned out to be a Halloween prop. Apparently,
Actually, I have a better
warehouse
clip of that rat. I like him on the other news network. It looks like this.
Buenas noches, señor Gato. My name is Slowpoke Rodriguez.
Yeah, so so Melissa, isn't that got kind of a Master Splinter thing going on here from Ninja Turtles?
Don't have the reference. I'm sorry.
You don't? Wow.
I
Okay.
tell you what, though.
I love how everyone else on this show would totally get that reference. How about you, Pat?
on that one.
Right.
Fun fact about Ace, who hasn't seen Mr. Rogers ever.
Neighborhood.
So,
Mr.
Oh
Rogers'
yeah, because of
Neighborhood.
his dad. He wouldn't let him watch it.
Yeah, step back, dude.
Yeah.
By the way,
That's
I don't
funny.
think that story is actually false. I don't think
It's fake news.
there's got to be way more than 22 pounds of trash in Mexico.
Wasn't it 22 tons? I think you may have read that wrong.
It's still not enough.
It's
They
still
found a giant rat, or as the Mexican people like to call it, Trump. Anyway,
Well,
I was surprised that Chuck E. Cheese has such a different Chuck E. Cheese mouse. You know.
I know.
Right?
Honestly, at first thing I saw that picture, I'm like, it's a prop from The Princess Bride, and then like I knew it was fake right away, but I'm like, that's what I thought it was. And I'm like, oh, it's Mexico City. So I'm like, were they filming another Princess Bride that we never got to see? The
Excellent reference. Yeah.
Yeah.
Rodents of unusual size. I don't think they exist. Yeah.
I heard it was just a giant actor in a rodent suit doing an X-rated version of Ratatouille underneath
That'd
there.
be awesome.
Great.
25
It's a Ninja Turtle X-rated film. Now the Splinter's got a big thingy and it's kind of disturbed. That's really Ron Jeremy. Right now, Ron Jeremy is still waiting for.
Oh my goodness.
I'm unmuted. I'm completely unmuted, but I don't see me.
What about your camera? Is the little there it is. There you are. Oh my goodness.
That was so cool.
She wants to hear more. She yeah. You know what? Here, I'm gonna turn the show over really quick to Donald Trump, and I just want him to recap the stories that we saw today. How's that sound?
Tremendous. Absolutely. Thank Ace. I want to thank everyone. Patrick, Melissa, I love what you're doing for curly hair glasses women. Tremendous. Let's recap. Woman got peed on. Probably Democrat. Super fast Corvette crash. Who knew? I'm telling you once again, at the wheel, sleepy Joe Biden. Funny rat once again. Huge rat once again. Probably, who knew? Nancy Pelosi.
It did have a striking resemblance. Yeah.
Like, it's to the rat. Just ran into Hillary in the men's room. And of course, let me close with super giant robot who's taking over the world. Yours truly. If you want to do Trump, just pretend you're playing an accordion. Thank you.
We're learning stuff right here.
What I'd write, yeah. Oy vey.
On Zoom. I'm huge on Zoom. Next week I'll be in some.
I'll be on StreamYard in some Mexican guy's garage in Barstow next week.
It's probably mine. It's probably, I have so many shows I'm going to start, so many dumpster dive shows we're going to start producing.
You're going to be filming out of your car soon, and it won't be ironic.
Yeah, right.
The show went by too quick. It's just like my love life. 3 weeks and it's done. For like 30 minutes, we're done.
Right. Yeah. Well, that and yeah, no one.
I'm lucky. 30 minutes.
Since it's a Zoom show. What?
It's not the worst glitch I've ever seen with Zoom. Like, I've seen a lot of accidental genitalia in Zoom.
I was just about to say that. You got the reporter that was, masturbating on a Zoom conference. And thank God none of you guys were doing that during the show. Or maybe curses because you didn't.
I just wonder, does anybody have pants on right now? Or is everybody else, like, just the bottom half is totally empty?
I have socks on. Yeah.
Don't stand up now.
All right. I want to thank my guests, Scott Wood, Patrick Maloney, and of course, my hot side chick, my co-host, Melissa Greenberg. My name's Ace Guillen, and this has been Cover Stories.